Alex and I are talking about him gaining sponsors. Now, Alex is a client, and Emily came on the show. Alex is a client of ours. He's actually also a friend. Been a friend for a long time, and then he ended up hiring us probably almost 4 years ago. I'm guessing. I hope I'm not exaggerating, but he's probably been with us for several years now. And he, in the beginning, he wanted to monetize, and then, if you remember correctly, he figured out how to monetize, and he started monetizing. Then he goes, "Oh, what's better is to just monetize with my own stuff." So you've probably heard the episodes where there's 3 ways to monetize. The first way is the worst way, and that's CPM. The second way is a little bit better, and that's when you reach out to the person. And the third way is even more better. Yes, that's right, English. Even more better. Is where you actually sell your own product and service. So Alex started out where we got him into the middle one, and I think he was making, $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And then he decided to start working with basically focusing on selling his own mastermind, and where he's now making closer to $40,000 a month, or maybe it was $40,000 a month with almost $500,000 a year. Has come through his podcast by growing a mastermind, which is freaking awesome. Good for him. And he's thinking about adding those sponsors back. He's thinking about going back to where he keeps doing option number 3, and he also does number 2. And so he and I are talking about copy. Copy, what is the term of copy? Copy really means script. It's like the words that we use. How are we going to use this? What is the best way to write this copy? And so I'm trying to support him, and I am fairly good at that because I've studied psychology, I've studied sales, I've done a lot of sales, door-to-door sales. I've run my own business for many, many years. So as a result, I got fairly good at it. And he and I are talking, and I felt like he needed somebody on top of just my experience. And so I was like, I had this great person on the podcast. Her name's Emily, and she actually writes copy for other people. So on the episode, and by the way, if you're listening, on the episode with Emily, she actually helped me with my website. I need to still have my team listen to it and make the changes. I'm embarrassed to say, but she helped me a lot with the website, and all of her feedback was valuable. So I told Alex, I said, "Hey, Alex, you need to talk to Emily." He was stoked. He was excited. He said, "Yes, please put me in touch." I double-checked, I triple-checked, because I don't want to waste time. I don't want to put him in touch unless he's actually interested. Now, here's the moral of the story. After I do an email introduction for both of them, and I hope that I'm allowed to be honest, Emily and Alex. Hope that I'm allowed to be honest, because this is a teaching moment for my listener. What ended up happening is one of them thought that the other one stopped responding. And then I went to that other person and I said, "Hey, how's it going?" And they said, "Pretty good." But they stopped responding. So what does that mean? That means that I put a referral together. And both of them, I'm going to exaggerate it a little bit because this might be the same place that you're in, because neither Alex nor Emily, Aborn, neither Alex nor Emily were in a place where they were really that worried. Neither of them were like, "Man, that other person is treating me wrong." They never thought that. But just imagine as if you were in this position. That other person on the other side might think that you're treating them wrong. Now, here's the lesson today. Emily was like, "Hey, I want to help Alex if he needs it, but he hasn't gotten back to me." And Alex is like, "Hey, I really need this help, but Emily hasn't gotten back to me." So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is communicate a little bit more. When you're doing anything on your podcast and when you're doing anything off your podcast, especially for a referral, most people are too afraid, demasiado afraid. They're too afraid of thinking like that they're going to be overstepping. So in this analogy, Emily, who is becoming a close-ish friend, like somebody that I really think is awesome, right? Obviously, we're not going camping together or something like that, but she's somebody that I really highly respect. And I think it's mutual. I think she listens to almost every episode. She's probably listening to this, which means that, well, pulling everything back, what's the problem here? The problem is Emily and Alex could be a little bit more forward. Both of them don't want to step on the other person's toes. Both of them don't want to offend the other person. Both of them don't want to come across as a salesy person. Both of them don't want to offend the other. So they're both just quietly waiting for the other person to message them.